Good morning, everybody, and thanks for waking up with the Chase.
No way.
My God!
That's a 1-1, ladies and gentlemen.
What did Dave say? I must ask you a question right now.
1-1, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, hell yeah, brother.
Whoa. Sit back, relax, and crack a cold one. The Chase is live. You can't kill me. I'm a bad biatch. I'm back.
Finally,
The Chase has come back
live.
to Twitch. All right, what's going on, guys? We're going to have to do a crazy episode right now. So, good morning. I'm Charlie Castro alongside my broadcast partner, David Yarger.
Hello.
Jersey
Happy
Friday. Big game break coming up later. What do you got? Oh, yeah.
The champions of this year's Super Bowl, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Go Birds. That is
Bang Bird Gang.
That is former Campbell's Chunky Soup spokesperson, Donovan McNabb. Love to see it. All right, get us going for the weekend. I got a party tonight. I got the Sabres game tomorrow. How am I going to get through the weekend?
Okay, listen. Speak in such a way that others love to listen to you. Listen in such a way that others love to speak to you. And that's Gifford, not Clifford. Gifford Thomas.
Wow, well said, Gifford. Thank you. No, that's Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, y'all. All right, let's check in on what's going on today's episode. We're going to send you into the weekend the right way. So we'll have a new release, but you know what? It's going to end up being the box strip, so don't even worry about that.
Yes.
Then we're going to follow a few around the hobby things. Listen, Beckett announced in accordance with LeBron James's record-breaking performance Tuesday that they're going to be doing a giveaway. Looking forward to that. And our live guest today, coming up in just a few minutes here, is going to be entrepreneur and founder of Culture Collision, Raphael Mosley, a.k.a. the Prism God. We also have Breaker Steve on to talk about some of the NBA trade deadline hobby talk. And we're going to go out with a bang today. Not only do we have one box giveaway. Can't talk. We got two, though. So we got the Leaf Exotic Football just dropped today. We got 2 boxes of that for you guys. And with a big card coming up this weekend in Australia, Captain will also have UFC video game codes. There will be 5 PlayStation and 5 Xbox codes, and each will get a 2022 Selector UFC 6-pack blaster. Captain will remind you of that later in the show. But first, whoa, we are ripping through. Hold on now. There you go. But first, we got to get to the giveaway winner for Wednesday's show. That's right, we ripped Illusions Football. If you remember, we had the Garrett Wilson patch auto redemption. David pulled that one, so not a bad box.
Not too shabby.
So we've got the winner. I know we won't have a drum roll, but can I see the above camera? Is she on? All right, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Illusions 22 football box is Madeline N. from YouTube. We asked you who you think the Super Bowl MVP is going to be. Well, Madeline decided it's going to be Travis Kelce with the MVP with 11 catches and 2 tutties.
Yikes.
Now, of course, there's 2 Kelce's playing, but she made sure to say that it was 11 catches and 2 tutties. So it's not. We can rule out Jason
Kelce.
We can rule out Jason Kelce. All right, and also, if you remember, we told you, the folks at home,
Yes.
that Meerkat and Elena were out in Arizona for the big game. Well, they've been out there networking, meeting new people, and of course, ripping some packs. So right now, we got a video, very special guest that Meerkat and Elena had, ripping some packs with them. Let's check that out. All right, never mind. It's not going to play. But you know what we can play? We can play still photos. So guess what? Madeline, because you won the Illusions Football, we're going to give you a nice little Chase beanie. You know, because wherever you may
Keep
be,
your dome piece
wherever
warm.
you may be in the world, in the United States, it might be a little cold. You might need a little headgear for something. And you know what? I'll show you what it looks like right now, because we got a model, somebody who is modeling off the Chase hats to us, the winter hats. Stevens, do you have that picture for us?
Sure do.
Where is he? There he is. How about Evan? Look at that.
Loving the
Evan
Chase
rocking
hat.
the Chase beanie. Shout out to Evan Cooper,
Yep.
one of the early fans of the show there. So
big
there you
fan.
go. You can see him modeling off the nice Chase beanie that you'll be receiving.
Christoph says he knows that kid.
Do you? I think I know him. I think I know him too.
Yes.
I think. All right, let's check here at the rundown. I got one last thing left for you before we get to our guest for the day. So we're heading into the big game weekend, and I think it's time we check in on that Panini Hobby Blitz bracket that we did at the beginning of the playoffs. So can we check the bracket, please? Maybe?
Possible? Wow, Troy, you look great.
That's not working either.
All right, never mind. So basically, here's what's going to happen. There's 4 products left. Prism, Optic, Select, I think. I'd have to look at it myself. There's 4 boxes
XR? I'm
left
not
in
sure.
the bracket. So what's going to happen is Captain is going to go on social media. He's going to post it on Saturday to the Instagram stories and to the Twitter. We're going to have polls on there. We're going to run the polls all weekend through Sunday, Saturday to Sunday. And basically what's going to happen is on Monday, we are going to announce the winner of who won that Panini bracket. Who's the champion? Who's the big game champion in the hobby?
Champion,
if you will. All right, anyways, we are going to get to our live guest today. So a couple weeks ago, we had the opportunity to talk to his wife, Joyce, before the Culture Collision show. Obviously, Culture Collision got some good social media presence, some good exposure in the last couple weeks. So now, today, we have the man behind it himself, obviously Joyce, but now we've got Raphael Mosley on the broadcast, a.k.a. the Prism God. So right now, without further ado, let's introduce him onto the show. Good morning, Raphael. How you doing, man? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Are we good? Or
He can hear us.
he can
Well, that's
hear-
good news.
okay.
Technical difficulties. I'm sorry. We're trying to work through it right now. Can you imagine if anybody in this chat right now, this is their first time watching this show?
Not
They're
for
probably
us.
like, what are these guys doing?
Yeah, we're-
Happy Friday, am I right? What an end to the weekend.
yeah, this has been one hell of a week.
I'm sorry, Raphael. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Can you
I
hear
think
me?
you can hear us.
Yeah, we can't hear him.
Is that better?
Yeah, there it is.
Hello?
There he is. We got him.
I got you now.
Oh my goodness.
All right, good. All right, I'm here. What's
This-
going on, guys?
Today has been wild, Raphael.
Yo,
That's all we
today's
can
been
say.
today's been a day already. So thanks for bearing with us. But how you doing, man? Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, man. I just recently I was sick for like the last week until literally probably a day and a half ago. Caught a late flight last night. I'm in LA now. Went Ontario.
Ontario, California. What's going on this weekend out there? Are you at the Burbank show this weekend?
Yeah, Burbank show this weekend. I came out to show my support.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Well, hopefully you start to feel better. Hopefully you feel 100%. I'm sure being around a show will probably help you a little bit, right?
Of course, man. Of course, man. I did everything I could. Took my vitamin C, man. So I'm all right.
Yeah, that's all right. That's
All
what my
about them
mom.
vitamins.
I was gonna say that's my mom. My mom's always like, "Did you drink the vitamin C? Did you drink the emergencies I gave you? I know you're not feeling well." So
Exactly.
yeah, you just gotta power.
Exactly.
I was gonna say you just gotta power through those. Those will always help. So
Yeah, as long as I don't die, I'm all right.
good. That's the good news. That's what we need you. You know, no matter what, Burbank needs you. We need you at 100% for sure. So I want to get into it though. Obviously, we're just coming off the Culture Collision. What 1-2 weeks ago? Not long after. So how'd everything go? How was the most recent one?
It was amazing. I mean, we got a lot of great feedback from everybody. A lot of peers, vendors, friends, associates. I mean, we got a lot of positive feedback. I mean, when you feel like you've done everything you can do, and it just works out, I mean, that's all you can ask for.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously it's very, very early, but can you give us any plans for next year's show by chance?
Nah, I think I'm gonna fall back a little bit and just kind of go into hiding a little bit. I think that's really what my focus is. I wanted to do going into this year was after this culture collision was falling back a little bit and focusing on the business of the hobby. There's a lot of things I feel like there's opportunity in. So there's a lot of companies that kind of reached out to me that had struck my interest and try to work with me. So I'm going to try to take those things and then also take Culture Collision to the next level. In order for me to do that, I really got to kind of fall back from being a collector and then focus more on the business. So that's really what my goal is.
Now, for you, that might be tough because you are such collectors. So how are you working to kind of separate that, as tough as it may be? How are you trying to kind of get into that business mode instead of that collector mode?
Man, it's extremely tough, especially when you see cards or you see opportunities potentially to make money, or you just, I don't know. Honestly, I kind of chime down sports, stop watching sports, and kind of looking at the opportunities to kind of just like focus on the business, man. Just kind of put my head in the paperwork and just write down all my different ideas that I have, man, and just kind of dive forward with that. So, but definitely, I'll work on the next Coach Collision 4 and making it the best Coach Collision anybody has seen. Bringing in different sponsors. I want different sponsors that nobody's ever heard of. So, like, that's really what my goal is.
Yeah, which is amazing because we talked about it with Joyce, obviously, how you're bringing a little bit of everything in. Real quick, you said you stopped watching sports, but I'm curious. I went on your page. I tried to do a little bit of research on the Instagram. I see you're a big wrestling fan, or I know you've been hitting them prisms hard. I know you have a bunch. I saw the Rock Blue Shimmer. I thought that was amazing, the first off the line there. So what do you think about that market, though? I think it's interesting because I feel like wrestling is starting to hit that popularity again where it is mainstream. And, Panini's got the ball rolling on some higher-end products or just some popular products that they have with, other sports like football and basketball.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a growing market. I think there's opportunity there. I just buy what I like. I mean, I think, going back a little bit to collector's aspect of it, I'll continue to buy what I like as long as it's, like, not costly, right? I'm not spending $50,000 on a card right now, obviously. But if it's something that's affordable, I'm definitely looking for bargain deals. It's something that's like as a collector. But to buy and resell, that was the space I was in when I first got in this space. I won't be doing that for a while.
And while we're on the topic of collecting, I had a question for you. Obviously, we have quite a big game this Sunday happening in Arizona. When you look at the collecting side, the hobby side, are there any players, in your personal opinion, playing this weekend that depending on the outcome of the game, it could affect their value more? Do you have any players like that you're looking at?
Woo, man, I wish it was Jalen Hurts. I think if he wins the Super Bowl, I think his stuff goes up much more. I think he, it's, all right. So I'm gonna say this: there's not a lot of African American quarterbacks that sell for, top tier prices outside of Pat Mahomes. So I think that there should be an opportunity for Jalen Hurts, but I don't know if he'll get there. I mean, when you think about people like Lamar Jackson. He proved himself year over year and was MVP and still didn't, get to this plateau. And I think his values are still relatively higher or about the same as Jalen Hurts, and he's in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and you look at.
But I rooted for Jalen Hurts though.
Me too.
For sure.
I
sure.
I am from Buffalo. I can't get myself to root for Patrick Mahomes. I just can't do it.
Yeah, no, I'm way more. I'm all in on Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. And
I'm rooting for Jalen Hurts though.
Yeah.
Underdog.
Oh, 100%.
And I do like your point though. Jalen Hurts, if he does win a Super Bowl, this is exactly what I was thinking. If he wins a Super Bowl, I do think we could see his value go way up.
Yeah, I don't think it goes as high as a Patrick Mahomes though. I don't think it goes as high as a Justin Herbert. I don't think it goes as high as a Joe Burrow. I mean, it's just. Based upon the numbers we've seen in the past on African American quarterbacks, or just quarterbacks in general. I mean, look what happened last year. Joe Burrow lost the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford won. I mean, nobody cared. So I think at some point in time, I think, when we talk about investments from an investment standpoint, some investments can become stale. It's like they'll hit a plateau really quickly, and then after that, it's like, I don't think it's really. I think you have to find a new consumer to get into it, but I don't think we always find that person sometimes. But Jalen Hurts should go up, but I just don't know if he will.
Good point.
I wonder too, like, do you think it's, I talk about this with, we talked about it with hockey in terms of markets, where you are. I mean, do you think where the person is currently playing and the teams maybe they have played on plays a factor too? I mean, maybe the hobby scene is bigger in a Philly. Yeah, maybe the hobby scene is bigger in a Philly than it is in LA or vice versa. Just thinking of Matthew Stafford, like you brought up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, being in the LA market helped his market. I mean, if you look at Matthew Stafford's past numbers when he was, well, of course, when he was a rookie, his stuff was probably peak. And then after, the investment became stale before he went to LA, of course, his market kind of got refreshed, maybe got a 30% bump. But I don't think it really exceeded that 30% bump even when he won the Super Bowl. So if you think about it, his top value was probably around his rookie year. So I don't know. I don't think it's, I don't think it changes much. It's just, I think that as we continue to come out with product, and this is something from an educational portion when we think about investments in the space, it's A, buy what you like, for one. Two, realize that sometimes investments can become stale, right? So Tom Brady's kind of stale right now until he gets to the point to where he becomes a Hall of Famer or a new plateau comes apart. Then we kind of remember who he is, and maybe he does get a bump at that point in time. But there's always opportunities at some point in time, but like investments can become stale through the course of a couple of years too, or depending on where they play.
And I like there's a point in our chat right now. It said Jared Goff made a Super Bowl. That don't matter. I mean,
nope. Exactly.
Nope. But you know what? I think it'll be interesting to see what he does to turn around Detroit.
True.
But I will say this though: Pat Mahomes winning the Super Bowl means more than Jalen Hurts because it's so much money invested into Patrick Mahomes right now that in order to that become sustainable, he has to win. And then there's people that are willing to spend more money on Patrick Mahomes because he was worth more money than he's probably down 30% from probably where he was. So you feel like maybe there's opportunity there that where if he wins again, maybe he can go up an extra 10%, 15%. And then now he's won twice out of 4 or 5 years. And now is he going to win next year? And then if he wins 3, then now he's the new GOAT. You know what I mean? He's the new generational GOAT that everybody has to get through to try to win a title. So I think Patrick Mahomes winning, because I think that long term, and that's not no knock at Jalen Hurts at all whatsoever. I just think as of right now, we've seen more out of Patrick Mahomes than we have out of Jalen Hurts. Now, Jalen Hurts could shock us for the next 5 years, but right now I think it means more for a hobby for Patrick Mahomes to win.
Yep. I think that makes sense. I mean, tacking on the NFL MVP last night, obviously at the NFL awards, and then having that second Super Bowl ring. A lot more to lose with Patrick Mahomes than it would be necessarily to gain with Hurts. Yeah, I think that's a good point. So I want to bring it back to the show a little bit. I know obviously you say this year you're going to kind of tone it down a little bit, but I just want to know because we had a chance to talk to Joyce. What is it like for you to be able to get your wife involved in the hobby and then, you two being able to work on this project that is Culture Collision?
It's a marriage. So I'll just say that it's a marriage. So it's a lot of work, a lot of commitment, a lot of, a lot of back and forth, but a lot of times she lets me win. So I'm thankful for that. But it's a lot of back and forth. I mean, she always says I'm the one with the ideas. We just kind of push it, but and that's kind of where we are right now. So that helps without saying the wrong thing.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. I know. Afterwards, he's gonna be like, "Man, why did you ask me that question? Don't put me on the spot like that. That's not cool. That's not cool."
Yeah, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Yeah, she's probably watching.
Yeah, that's okay. You know what? I thought that was a very diplomatic, really good answer. That was good. Yeah. That was a good, straightforward answer.
Yeah, you got.
Yeah, I don't want to. I still got to come. Still got to go home, man. I mean, I'm in California for a couple of days, but I still got to go home. So So I might not have to go home to go back to.
Yeah. Oh, your stuff's gonna be on the lawn when you get home. We don't want that. We don't want any of that.
Right.
So
Right.
while you're in Burbank, this weekend, what are you kind of looking forward to at the Burbank show as you're telling us that you're trying to step away from a collecting side and go more to the business side? What are you kind of keeping your eye on when you walk around this show, instead of past shows when you've gone in as a collector?
Well, it's funny you say that. I'll tell you a quick story. When we first did Culture Collision, I literally, because I was so focused on being a vendor and being a collector and buy, sell, trade. That's all I did for about 2-3 years before we decided to do the show. I proceeded to try to build relationships. And I used to tell a lot of my friends in the space, and this is good for people who don't necessarily know what they want to do within the space, but they enjoy the space, and you don't know where you're going to be in it. It's good to build relationships. So a lot of it is going around, networking with people, introducing yourself, talking to people, making conversations, and then connecting the dots. Because a lot of times people follow you and you don't necessarily know that they're following you. Sometimes they'll follow your whole progress and sit here and just, in that moment, you get a chance to actually meet them in person. Especially when you're coming from out of town, traveling from, here to Vegas, wherever you got to go, it's good. But the short story was I went to the Nationals in Chicago, and that was I got a chance to meet Bob Means, which was the director of eBay Collectibles at the time. And I told him specifically, I said, man, if you're not at my show, you're not a part of the hobby. And that's what I told him straight up to his face. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I said what I said. Here's my card. And so, so he came over to my booth. We talked a little bit more. And from there, we proceeded with a relationship, man. Bob was really good at understanding what the vision was for Culture Collision, and was really appreciative on what eBay had to offer, being a part of Culture Collision at the time. So, yeah. So I stated to say that's why I travel to a lot of these shows now. You'll probably see me at Mint. You'll see me at Union because I support those guys as well. And I just like to go out to just network with a lot of different people. Burbank has a lot of resources that we don't have on the Southern Coast, right? So I think being out here, the Prism God brand or the Culture Collision brand wasn't as big on the West Coast than it is on the East Coast and the Southern Coast. A lot of people out there knew me because I traveled to so many shows. I rarely traveled to the West Coast. So being able to come out to the Burbank show and networking with people that I don't get a chance to network with in one house is a benefit for me. And being able to talk to the different people that are around the show. So that's the overall long story. And I can keep talking for days, so make me stop.
That's all right. Hey, no, you're good. Like, that's why we brought you on. We wanted to talk to you. So I know we always have to cram it into this little time. So I'm hoping we'll get a chance to talk to you even more in person soon, someday.
Of course.
And now, like Fanatics is, taking their step into the hobby game. From Fanatics, what would you like to see them possibly improve in the hobby?
Wow. It's so many opportunities. I think they just recently announced that they were doing a streaming platform. I don't really know what for yet, but I think the bigger issue is probably getting the product to consumers. I think that direct to consumer idea is really a good idea. I think making wax affordable is a great idea. It's probably one of the number one things I think should be implemented. I don't even open up a lot of wax anymore. I mean, like my last case that I ripped was Star Wars, Topps Chrome Star Wars. I mean, that's basically Galaxy. So, I mean, unless it's around that price point, I really don't rip a lot anymore. So I would like to get the wax down.
Makes sense.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, because we always talk about how important it is for kids to be in the space. And, obviously the hobby will never die, but you want to get more people into it to kind of keep that tradition rolling throughout. And I think that's one of the steps is definitely wax being affordable so kids and novice collectors can have fun ripping.
The future of the hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's what it is about.
All right, so...
and also, I guess the other thing, I want to say one more thing. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Go ahead.
I did want to say this because you literally just brought up an excellent point. It's early here, so it's like 8:37 here, and I just got in late last night. So So I will say this. Yes, it's important about the future of the hobby. So it's the kids. I think being able to create products specifically for the kids at a reasonable price, I think is, getting it to them specifically is the best thing we could probably do in creating. And that's something you'll see at the next show. That's something I'm working on as well, is creating something specifically for the kids at the next Culture Collision. We had a kids zone by Sports Card Investor last time, but being able to do that, I think is important for fanatics to do. They need to focus on the future, what the hobby looks like.
Agreed. Yeah, so that's cool. Definitely something to look out for. All right, so kind of wrapping it up here for you. I want you. Hopefully, you can get a little nap in before you got to go to the show. Get yourself something to eat. You know what I mean? Like relax a little bit. Getting in late last night, but just kind of, it's going to be an all-encompassing question. I just want to throw it to you. What's next for you? What's next in 2023? I know you talked about it a little bit earlier, but what do you really want to focus on this year and hope to learn from this hobby?
Well, continue to master the business of the hobby. Continue to be a master. Continue to be a student of the business of the hobby. Learn better execution, and that's one of the things we're continually doing at Culture Collision. I mean, as we continue, this is only our third show. This will be our fourth show next year. We planned on doing. I will say this: we are doing 2 shows next year for sure. But again, this is a growing pain. So you go through, the different things. So I'm learning to do better on execution. So I want to make this the best show that anybody's ever been to.
I can respect that.
We're gonna have to take a trip.
Yeah, I want to go to Atlanta. I know. I saw the basketball games. Obviously, I saw people that we've talked to on the show, playing it. I'm like, even though I'm not good, I'm like, we should live stream this basketball tourney, and David and I could just do commentary.
That'd be a lot of fun.
But that's the game plan, man. That's the game plan. We want to make it open to the people. We're really pushing it to make it to where Team East, they can be on one side and Team West can be on the other side, and they can root for their favorite influencer or sponsor or collector on one court. I'm working on overtime to try to see if we can set something up, trying to, solidify these dates, but it's just really hard to do. Yeah. Because they had, because their schedule, they don't produce their schedule that far ahead. So it just makes it hard for me to kind of like wait for them for a schedule when everybody's like, hey, when's the next show? And I'm like, I'm trying to make something happen, and you got to pick and choose what's important. And of course the experience is important, and I'm glad everybody appreciated it. So it's definitely amazing. Wait till we release the video.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. So I'll keep an eye out for that. Raphael, real quick before you go to, just let everybody know where they can follow you, where they can find information on Culture Collision, or just your journey yourself.
All right. Well, first of all, you can follow me on IG, Instagram, Prism_God. Also follow me on YouTube, Prism God TV, for content or previous content about my story. Also, Culture Collision Trade Show, Instagram, Facebook page. We have a Twitter. And also a website. Feel free to hit me up anytime. It's about the easiest way to contact me, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you for having me on the show.
Hey, man,
Absolutely.
Anytime. Honestly, we've passed 100 episodes, so now we're getting into the getting guests back on, having some recurring guests. So we'd love to have you back on eventually.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys for having me, man. Shout out to Kyle Kravitz. I know you've been on here a lot.
Yeah, that's right. Kyle's our boy. Yeah, Kyle's our boy for sure. So you have a good weekend. Enjoy the Burbank show, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys. Be safe. Thank you.
All right, man. You too.
Peace out.
Great interview there again. Always hitting with the interviews. I always love our interviews, honestly.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I will stick to it. We have not had a bad guest.
No.
Every guest has been awesome.
There's one. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, all right, next up here on listen, this is a shotgun show today, and as you can see, it kind of just all went to hell, but we're making it work, baby, because that's what we do here on The Chase. We don't quit. We're making it work. So next up, it was going to be Meerkat Minute, but obviously Meerkat has been in Arizona. He's a little jet lagged. He's a little tired, and let me tell you, he banged his head off this truss earlier today, so he may be concussed. But we've got a Meerkat Minute for you nonetheless. So right now we're going to bring on my favorite breaker, your favorite breaker, Steve Richardson. I don't know, some guy named Steve. Richie Stevenson, Steve. Steve, I don't even know. Some guy, Steve.
Don't call
Where
him.
are you at this point?
Anything works.
Don't call him
Steve, they're loving you. The chat. Look at the chat
What's up,
type.
chat? What's up? What's up?
Say good morning to chat.
Good morning, chat. Good
All right,
morning.
Steve.
Also, I want to take these down just a little bit so the people can see what
Short
great
Kings,
jersey
right?
you're
Short.
wearing.
Oh yeah, gotta show it off. Rockets throwback. I know we got a lot of Houston fans in here.
I do it every. That was close. That was a good
It's
ricochet.
Yao Ming, baby. Yao Ming. Every season, All-Star Yao Ming. I gotta go Yao Ming. Short King has to love the tallest player in NBA history, right? Like, it's gotta be that way.
You should see the jersey too. It's like relatively long, like a good
yeah.
long, but relatively long on him. And so he was wearing a jacket today, and I could totally see the jersey out of the jacket already. Steve,
What's up, Troy?
crazy day yesterday at the NBA
One
trade
would
deadline.
say. One would say.
That was one of the. I feel like that was one of the nuttier ones we've seen in a while.
Yeah, it was one of the deadlines where I said I think we were going to see a lot of deals because there were a lot of teams that were one piece away, contending teams, and then you have the opposite where there's about 10 teams that were in the full-on tank for Wembanyama, got to blow it up. So I was like, we're going to see some big deals. Obviously, the Kyrie one was first. Kyrie to the Mavs. I thought that was a pretty big one. I was like, that's probably going to be the biggest player we see.
Yeah.
And I wake up yesterday to Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
To the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I woke up to. I'm waking up. I think I'm still dreaming. It's like 5:30 in the morning. My phone's blowing up. I go, why is my phone blowing up right now?
Yeah.
Kevin
Waking
Durant to
your
the
eyes.
Phoenix Suns. 4 first, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and Crowder all going back.
You text me WTF in all caps.
I mean, because that's how I felt. That's the initial reaction. But this is huge for the Suns in terms of, obviously, you're getting one of the best players in the NBA.
Yep.
Now you really do have that big three with Devin Booker, KD, and Chris Paul. But this is big for Chris Paul. And I was saying in terms of hobby value for Chris Paul, Suns went from the window shutting to they are probably the favorites out of the Western Conference right now.
Yeah.
And Chris Paul is that classic, going to be a Hall of Famer, had a historic, incredible career, just needs that playoff success, needs that championship. Now he's got a very good opportunity to get it with Kevin Durant and Phoenix.
High caliber team right there for sure. So that's why we really wanted to bring you on is in all this madness that was going on in the last 24 to 48 hours. Who in the hobby do you think was really affected the most by all these crazy moves? And, maybe a couple guys people should be looking out for in the hobby now, maybe take advantage of someone who may become a star now and move into a bigger role, or maybe somebody who's getting a second opportunity elsewhere that may flourish from these trades.
Right. So I think most of the time for hobby value, you want to look for kind of the younger players. I like to look at guys in new spots or maybe a bigger opportunity. And we talked about this guy all this week, but Cam Thomas is a big one for the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets shipped out Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Obviously, they brought back some pieces. Spencer Dinwiddie being a big one. Mikal Bridges. They're definitely going to have roles. But we saw Cam Thomas, when they were injured, kind of step into a larger role, larger usage. 3 straight 40-point games. Everyone forgets he's only 21 years old.
Yep.
He was drafted when he was 19 out of LSU to be a pure scorer. He's one of the best pure scorers in college basketball. Now he's got an opportunity to really help himself hobby-wise, and we've already seen it, Troy, with prices for Cam Thomas, which is hilarious. You could get like numbered rookies out of 99 out of Prism just for like $10. You could get Cam Thomas autos for like $10-15. It's kind of funny enough. I had a Cam Thomas redemption lying around.
Yeah.
I think
Yourself?
it was
Like from your collection?
from my PC. It's just lying around. I was like, I wonder where that is. I gotta make sure that hasn't expired. And I'm looking at prices. It was selling for about $15-20 before these deals, before he went off with his points.
Yeah.
And now he's
It
like
ain't
$200-300 for that card. I mean, the jump Cam Thomas has had has been wild. So that's one of them there. I know he didn't get traded, but obviously the deals affected him the most. Another one I got here is Bones Highland. Bones Highland,
Yeah.
another one.
Which somebody,
Cindy right there. Yeah,
Cindy
shout
said
out
Bones
Cindy
Highland.
for it. Bones Highland is one who was kind of lost in the shuffle with the Nuggets, right? Jamal Murray has really gotten back to full Jamal Murray, full recovery. He's been going off. Jokic's probably going to win his 3rd MVP. Bones was kind of lost in the shuffle, and he goes to the Clippers, who traded away John Wall, traded away Reggie Jackson, and don't really have a true point guard right now. There's a lot of rumors that the Clippers might get Russell Westbrook if the Jazz buy him out. They might sign him, and I think that'd be cool, reuniting Russ with Paul George. But regardless, Bones Highland is going to have a much bigger role there. He's an exciting player. He's a guy with a ton of potential, and now he's going to a team as well that he's going to be a guy who probably gets 30-plus minutes a night for him, and the Clippers are just as much of a contender in the Western Conference as the Denver Nuggets are. So you look at Bones Highland as someone who's been a rookie from a couple years ago, where I think his price is going to start to skyrocket.
Yeah.
And then the last one here, and this is going to be maybe a long-term thing. I don't think the prices are going to change right now. But the forgotten man in Golden State, James Wiseman, Mr. Disappointment. A lot of people have labeled him as a bust. It just wasn't a situation that didn't work. He was up and down between the NBA and the G League. He was dealing with injuries, obviously, before. Work ethic has always been a question mark, but now he's in Detroit. And the one thing I'll say about Detroit, there's opportunity to play. If he shows he can be like the number 2 overall pick, there's opportunity to play. And if he proves himself at the end of this year, next year, you have a couple factors. Number one, the Pistons could be in the Wembanyama sweepstakes, which would boost. I say this every time. When you get a type of generational type prospect or star like that to come to your team, it boosts everyone around you. So that could be a potential. And also, Cade Cunningham's out for the year. Cade Cunningham comes back. Cade Cunningham and James Wiseman, a little pick and roll action there.
Possibly Wembanyama.
Exactly. So that's another one there.
You start to think of the bench and starting five they could potentially build there going into next year. So it's one of those things, because then you'd have Cade, Jaden Ivey, you'd have James Wiseman.
Yep.
They just shipped out Sadiq Bey,
right.
I know.
Bogdanovich might be there. We're not sure. But either way, if James Wiseman actually starts to play like the type of player he can be, he's going to have a role in Detroit, and he's going to play a lot of minutes. Obviously, you still have Stewie there. You have Jalen Duran. So it's, going to be a crowded front court right now, which is like, earn your minutes. So it's a lot of pressure in James Wiseman, where when he was brought into Golden State, who was ahead of him in the depth chart? Kevin Looney, right? And Looney, he's a champion with the Warriors. He's been part of their core for a while. Yeah. But they brought James Wiseman in. That's why they drafted him as highly as they did, because they wanted him to be that guy. Didn't really work out. Now you look at Wiseman with the Pistons with a lot of competition, right? Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duran, potential of getting a big man in the draft next year. He's going to have to prove himself, and I think it's a perfect opportunity with the Pistons, who probably aren't going to win anything crazy this year. They're going to be tanking. They're probably going to be in the Wembanyama sweepstakes. That means get what you can out of your young talent. See what you can get. Wiseman's going to get a lot of minutes. He didn't get a lot of opportunity with the Warriors, so I think it's going to be a good situation both for him and for the team.
I'm looking at James Wise. I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I was just looking at the eBay price guy here, and James Wiseman RPAs, but nobody's really selling him.
No,
it seems like everybody is hanging on to him right now.
And I think you should, because why sell him right now? He's been a disappointment so far this year. He was a highly anticipated draft pick. He was a high draft pick, ton of potential, never panned out. But he's still super young.
Right,
he's still super young. And I say this every time, too, and this is funny. It's kind of ironic coming from me. He's got the physical tools. He's got the size. He's got the wingspan, right? He's got everything you want in a big. He can shoot. He's got everything. It's just a matter of putting it all together.
And be on the court.
Exactly.
Yeah, so.
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, this upcoming draft is very interesting, in my opinion, because Wembanyama, obviously, head and heels the number one pick. But at number 2, you still have Scoot Henderson, and everyone said Scoot would be a number 1 pick if Victor wasn't there. So it'll be interesting just to see if whoever doesn't get the number 1, whoever gets number 2, I still think whoever gets number 2 could be in a good situation as well.
I agree with that, David. And not only that, a lot of the teams that are going to be in potential for those top picks have a lot of extra picks from deals they made either this year at the deadline or previous years. Oklahoma City Thunder, how many picks they have, right? All these teams are accumulating picks, so we could also see a potential blockbuster type of package deal for someone to move up in the draft to, like you said, to try to get in Wembanyama, which I don't think whoever gets the first pick would ever trade that.
Right.
But you never know.
Not this year.
You can never say never, but your point as well, the second pick with Scoot Henderson is a guy who would be a number 1 overall pick. We can see teams do that. There's just going to be a lot, switching up in the basketball world, especially with these teams tanking, because there's so many good young players in the core that this year, it's one of those things where, yeah, they're not competing right now, but you look at those teams. The Orlando Magic have a great young core. The Detroit Pistons have a great young core. The Houston Rockets, who probably could get the first overall pick, have Sengun, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith. Yep. I mean, these are teams that have these are teams that have good young cores, just a couple pieces away, and obviously some experience away. Got it. They're all 20, 21 years old. Right. You got to give them time.
Yeah. So now one last point here I want to make. Obviously, I'm already seeing on 130 point, we're seeing recon autos of Cam Thomas going for 140. I see a rated rookie auto here, the fast break, 150. So out of those three guys, who's a buy right now? Do you think we're already too late on the Cam Thomas, or people are just kind of riding that wave of his impressive week and a half he's had? Who's really the situation you think to buy into right now between the Bones, the Cam, and the Wiseman?
So I think it's how you want to break it down. I think they're all technically buys, but it's how you want to buy, right? With Cam Thomas, obviously he had the spike for the 40-point games. That's when a lot of people didn't know who Cam Thomas was unless you follow college basketball. You follow a lot of the NBA and know the Brooklyn Nets depth chart because he was out of the rotation just a few months ago. But I still think Cam Thomas is a buy because he just has so much more opportunity now. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are gone. Yes, they brought in Dinwiddie. Yes, they brought in Bridges. But you saw even with Dinwiddie in there yesterday, Cam Thomas still played 33 minutes. He didn't shoot well. He only scored 20 points, but he's definitely someone where you have to look and see if that usage keeps up.
Sure.
So Cam Thomas, I guess right now I would say kind of be patient with it. Maybe wait a month, see how there's so many new faces on the Brooklyn Nets.
Right.
See how they mix and match. Bones Highland is another one where I kind of want to wait because I want to see what the Clippers do with that point guard position. They don't really have a true point guard right now. They got Bones Highland and they got Terrence Mann. Those are the two.
Right.
There's a lot of rumors that they might go and sign Westbrook if he's bought out by the Jazz, which would be a good move. But even if they do that, Bones is still going to have a role. And I think Bones has that potential. Perfect situation, too, playing with guys like Kawhi and Paul George, who are better off ball than they are, kind of running the offense through them. And I think that's a good spot where Bones, you could see assists spike up. You could see a lot spike up for Bones. And then James Wiseman, I think, would probably be the best buy of the three right now, just in terms of price. Because everyone's forgetting about him. But if you say a month from now, James Wiseman's getting 30, 35 minutes a night with the Pistons and just putting up, crazy stats, kind of what we saw Jalen Green do with the Rockets last year. He started off cold. He started off cold in his rookie year. It was like, Jalen Green is not a bust, but people like kind of a disappointment compared to how Scotty's playing, how Mobley's playing. But at the end of the year, averaging 25 a game in the final couple months, really got his name out there, and you saw his hobby value just explode coming into this year. So I think we could see kind of the same situation with Wiseman. I would say, if I had to rank them, I would go Wiseman number one because of the price. I would probably go Bones number two because of the opportunity. And number three, I'd go Cam Thomas just because we've already seen that initial spike. And I just want to see if the market comes down a little bit. But if you have Cam Thomas right now, and I see Zach right there says Cam's overrated. If you have Cam Thomas right now and you don't believe in him, if you think it's just kind of a stretch, which I love Cam because I watched him at LSU. He was 19 and he was doing stuff like that. A great time to sell right now, too. For Cam Thomas is weird. It's a good time to buy if you believe, but if you don't believe, I mean, look at his prices. They've jumped up like 500% on some of the cards from 2 weeks ago.
All right, well, Steve, thanks for the analysis. We really appreciate that. That was pretty in-depth. I figured we were going to get that from him. Steve's real good with that. I mean, he talks basketball all the time. You can hang out and stick around if you want. We're going to do this exotic football, but I think, are we going to do this, or, yeah? Well, come on. We're going to have to do it real quick.
Bring him up here.
Bring him in here. Bring the chair if you want.
No, I'll just hang out.
All right, he's just going to stand.
Wait, how the hell are we giving these?
Yeah, do you know who's night botting for us?
Yeah, I'll just...
Whoa.
Is that my bottle?
No.
Did you go pick it up?
That was a bad throw.
That was a bad toss. What's up? What's up, Cap? Everybody say hi to Cap. All right, Cap. What do you got for us here? What are we doing?
In honor of the UFC, big fights this weekend.
It's right there for you. It's literally right there.
We've got some codes for EA Sports UFC 4. We got 5 PlayStation, 5 Xbox codes, and we're going to pair them along with these select boxes of UFC 2022.
Okay. How are we doing this? Are we running Nightbot? Who's running Nightbot? Do you know how to Nightbot this?
I don't.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do.
I thought you had an
We're
idea.
going to do 2 giveaways. Yeah, this is how we're going to do it. I got it. All right, here's what Captain's going to do. You guys are going to put in the chat who your favorite UFC fighter is of all time. Whatever UFC fighter you know, like, it doesn't matter. And he's going to randomly pick 10 of you, and then he's going to whisper to you, give you the codes, and of course, you're going to get a box of this. So you're going to get a code and a box of this. And guess what? Guess what? You are going to have to send us your shipping information, okay? So this guy right here, Captain, wearing the 80 white, it's not silver, it's white Jerry Rice jersey. You're going to give him your shipping information. So right now, get chatting, be active in the chat. Let us know who your favorite fighter of all time is. And Captain's going to choose 10 of you. We got 5 for PlayStation, 5 for Xbox, and then each code is going to get a box of this. All right?
Beauty.
How's that sound?
That was my favorite bit that we've ever done. Me pretending
pretty
like I
good.
don't know Nightbot, and we actually run the true giveaway. That was fun. That was really cool.
That was a great bet.
Yeah, that was a good bet. As always.
All right. All right. Well, you guys are hanging out. Steve, you want to scoot over a little bit?
What? We could share a chair.
There you go. Yeah, put one cheek on one
we
cheek
could
there.
share a
One
chair.
cheek it.
Yeah,
All
one
right,
cheek it.
let's
Why
get to
not?
our box rib giveaway. It's going to be the new 22 Leaf Exotic Football, 2 boxes of it.
Ooh.
All right, but I need a cutter, and hopefully my overhead camera's working. Who knows? Who knows today? Let's see. Is it?
Yes.
All right, great. Love to hear it. But I need the cutter. So Patrick, what have you done this? What have you done this time with the
Heat up.
cutter?
You gotta look for it.
Whoa.
Oh, he's Sabbath. How did you end up with it?
It was on the box.
Well, I guess David gets the break first for once.
David wins.
David wins this one.
All right.
All right, so
exotic football from our friend Brian Gray at Leaf.
Friend of the show,
Friend
former
friend of the
guest
show.
on the show.
I just gotta say, the 2 bros love Leaf Exotic.
Well,
Love
I'll tell you right now. I know
Exotic.
you guys have done some of the
The
multi-sport.
multi-sport was incredible.
So I did one too for a personal break. I think when we were filling in for you guys, David and I, and I pulled that Joey B giraffe auto.
Oh.
Awesome.
Hang on. Let me get a sweater.
Yeah, these
Oh wait, here I got one for you.
We don't.
Looking at the DA drops
We don't want any
for this
spoilers.
week and seeing Exotic on the list.
Got one, but thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
were you excited?
I think the description on the site or whatever was like, people love animal print cards. That was literally it.
People go crazy
Ooh,
for
so
animal
yes.
print cards. All right, what do we got first?
We have Phil Jurkovich. He was BC's quarterback last year, transferring to Pitt.
He's flexing on you guys. He's
Look at
flexing your
Dave
knowledge.
with the college football knowledge.
That's impressive.
Now I need your guys' help. Now you got to help me. All right, I helped you. You got to help me. How are people gonna win this giveaway?
I have an idea.
Let's hear it.
I'm all ears.
Rookie.
All right. And let me know what you think about this.
Christian Harris.
Christian Harris.
Oh, this is 1 of 2, by the way. I never even looked. This is 2 of 5 on the Jurkovich. I forgot to look. Sorry. 1 of 2 on Christian Harris.
Leaf does love some low-numbered cards. I love it. All right, so what do you got for us, Captain?
All right, let me know what you guys
He's got
think.
one more.
If one animal constructed
Rookie.
to create one team of a football team,
Oh my god.
which animal would be the best team in the
Oh.
league?
Okay, which animal?
We got something? Hold on.
Malik?
Hold on.
Malik the
Malik
Freak.
Willis?
Malik the Freak.
2 of 7.
Nice.
2 of 7. Malik
one there.
Willis.
That is sweet.
Too bad you didn't get 7. 7 of 7, eh? The old
Jersey
rookie,
number,
the old
old
jersey
eBay
number, eBay 101.
101.
All right, so which
Yeah,
animal?
that is the rhino, right? Oh, that's a nice one.
I'm pissed.
Yeah, that's got to be Rhino, I believe.
All right. Now it's time for
This is like
one.
giraffe
You
on
want
the
me to get
Jurkovich.
I'll
can
take
have
the
it.
chair back, yeah?
All right, let me grab that because it fell somewhere.
Oh
Uh-oh.
wait, Troy.
Here you go. What?
We need to pick. They need to know how to win these.
I know. I just said it.
I didn't
He
hear
just said
you.
it. Pick an animal. Which animal would
I was in
be
the
the
zone.
best team representative?
I was. gonna
If
say.
one animal was, a football team, which animal would win?
Okay. You
That
guys
doesn't
heard
make any
it.
sense.
I'm hearing lions and giraffes, lions, tigers, and
Grizzly
bears.
bear?
Oh my.
Grizzly bear.
Like if you were, if
going up against a
if
grizzly
like the
bear.
offensive lineman was a grizzly bear.
Yeah.
I'll take a Nittany lion.
I'm hearing
I'll take a
elephants,
grizzly bear
hamster.
over any of these, chat.
Ooh. Meerkat says
Rhino, too.
monarch.
Rhino,
Monarch
too.
butterfly.
All right.
Was that what he said?
That's what Meerkat said, yeah.
I like that.
Cover it up. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I don't want- no
I
spoilers.
swear I've broken before.
No spoilers.
I can fix him. The rookie?
I think they're all rookies. I think they're all rookies,
I mean, yeah, they're all-
honestly, or most of them. That's a quarterback of some sort. Devin Brown. Devin Brown. That one is going to be 5 of 7.
Okay.
5 of 7 on the Devin Brown. This is a brand new product right now. This is available on dacarworld.com for $99.95 a box. 3 autos per box.
You know who I would be, Troy? I would
Who'd you
be
be?
a goose.
Why's that?
Geese are vicious.
Oh, this is
Oh,
old
they're
school.
aggressive.
Wow, this is real old school.
What is
Whoever
that?
this is.
I love that.
Y.A.
Rizzo.
Tittle on the Peacock. That's 3 of 6.
All right, Tittle.
That's
Y.A. Tittle on the Peacock.
Yeah, tittle.
There's a lot of jokes
Yeah.
you could make in there.
Yeah, just a few.
Groundhog. I like the groundhog. All right.
Just
couple.
a smidge.
Yeah, pair of jokes.
Last card magic? What did you just say?
I wish the overhead wasn't on. That was so
What
funny.
did you say? All right, we've got. Ooh, this is a
David
zebra.
left. David left. That's how good it was.
All right, this is a zebra extra rookie.
What do we got?
Ooh, Desmond Ritter. Okay.
2 really good rookie
That's
QBs.
zebra. Desmond Ritter on the zebra there. That is 3 of 7, which he wears 4 though, right?
I believe.
I think he's 4 in the NFL.
That's a beaut.
That's
though.
really
That's-
nice. I love the
that.
zebra. People do go crazy for the animal prints.
It's impressive.
People go crazy for the animal prints. So there you have it, a little Peacock Y.A. Tittle, Desmond Ritter on the zebra, and I don't know what animal print that is. Elephant?
Who was the second guy?
Is that elephant tusk?
Or
Is
the
skin?
first guy?
Ivory? All right, there you guys have it. There is our box rib giveaway for the day. Remember to enter. So enter these. Let us know your favorite UFC fighter, and Captain's going to pick 10 of you. And then for the box rib giveaway, let us know what animal representing a team would win. I hope
if a team of elephants was facing a team of like
Mosquitoes.
mosquitoes,
Yeah.
that's gonna be tough for them. It's gonna be tough for them.
All right, guys, that's all the time we have for today. We've already gone overtime. Thank you for joining us today in this cluster of an episode we had. Thank you to Raphael, a.k.a. the Prism God, for coming on and joining us. He was a great interview. Love talking to him. What?
Let's take a bow
For what?
for the show.
You
Great
take a
show,
bow.
episode 104. Everybody, let's take a bow. Come on, guys.
All right, anyways, guys, we are going to have the big game break coming up at 2 p.m. Make sure you are here. We are going to be live on this set. Steve, Luke, me, David, that's his name.
Yeah. I'll
We're going to
there.
be live for
JJ
that, so
too?
come
Jersey
back for the
Johnson
big game
too?
break. Jersey John, too. We're going to be on the main
YA
channel,
Kittle might be here.
twitch.tv/DA Carworld. No two bros today because we're going to be on here. We're going to
We
go
might be
get some
doing,
lunch. What?
A few personals for a little bit. A little bit before 2. I think we're gonna do a couple personals.
Oh, all right. Well,
We'll see. We'll see.
You can see what kind of day
They're already
it's
throwing
been.
things.
Give Steve some paper.
Give me something.
All right, guys. Listen, we're going to be back on Monday with a brand new episode. You know the drill. Twitch.tv/DA Carworld. Make sure you're following us across all platforms. DA Carworld, DA_the chase. Check us out everywhere. YouTube replay, youtube.com/DA Carworld. But until then, until Monday, have yourselves a great weekend. Enjoy the big game. And just remember, it's all about the chase.
You missed.
You suck, Patrick. Ooh. Woo! Top chat. Out!